Welcome back to Guide to Solidworks. In this tutorial today we're going to be having a look at how we go around creating this V-belt pulley system here, or this drive system. Now I'm going to take you through the process of actually modelling each of the pulleys, assembling it together, and also how we create the belt as a model and assembling that into the assembly as well. So if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. We have tons and tons of content on Solidworks, all the way from beginners through to intermediate activities. So give it a go and hit that subscribe button, please. Now let's dive in and have a go at modelling these pulley systems. Okay, so let's start off by making the pulley. So we're going to make two types of pulley. The first one is going to have our V slot in it for our V-belt, and the other one is just going to be a guide pulley. So let's have a look. So I'm going to start on the right plane. I'm going to start sketching on there, and I'm going to start off by creating a centre line through my origin here. So create my centre line, connect that to the midpoint, and I've got my centre line going through my origin. I'm just going to put a size to that, and it's going to be 25mm wide there, like so. Okay, so once I've got that in place, I'm then just going to create a centre line coming up here, and this is going to be 60. Okay, so I'm just going to come out of this, create my step process, and I'm just going to get a rough outline of what I want my sort of V-belt to look like so. And then I can start putting some sizes to it in a moment. So I'm going from there to there, that's going to be 25. From there to there, and that's going to be 85. And the top of here is going to be on line with the top of my centre line going across in the horizontal. I want this to be on line with the outside of my centre line through my origin. And then I'm going to create a little offset here step of 7.5 in there, like so. I want my distance around there to be 60 degrees and a drop down step here of 6, like so. I want that little step in from the side there to be 3 millimeters, so just set that as 3, and we've got that information in place like so. Now once I've got that, I can mirror that across. So if I go to my mirror tool, I can take this lines I've created on this side, and I'm going to mirror about this centre line here. And I'll create the same shape on the opposite side, giving me the full profile. Once I've got that profile in place, I'm going to go to Features, Revolve, and I'm going to revolve it around the centre line here at the bottom and get that shape. With that in place then, I'm going to sketch on this inside face. Turn that so I'm normal to that face, and create a circle. That circle is going to give me my distance out from the centre, so I'm going to use that for construction, and I'm going to set the diameter of that at 50. Put a circle from that top section there, and that is going to be 12. So I've got a 12 diameter circle there, which I'm going to cut through. So Features, Extrude, and I'm going to cut through that, through my model with that there. So I'm going to go through all, making sure that it's coming out the other side, tick like so. Now I've got that one in place, I'm going to pattern that. So I'm going to go to the Pattern tool, Circular Pattern, I'm going to select this inside edge, any circular edge will do. Taking the pattern, let's take that pattern first. So I want that cut pattern as the process that as the component that I'm going to use, and I use my direction as that inside edge there, and you'll see it's picked up on them. I've got it preset equally spaced, and I have already set 5, so we're going to use 5 for this, but you could change that to suit, and that will give me the 5 cutouts there, and that is my first pulley completed. So I've got my V-belt there, pulley completed. Now to create my second pulley, I'm going to edit this, so let's have a look how we go around doing that. Right, okay, so now we've got that saved as our pulley. Let's move on to create pulley 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to edit what I've already created here. So I'm going to go to my original revolve. I'm just going to drop that down and go to the sketch and edit that sketch. I'm going to start off by editing this center line coming up. I want to extend that slightly. I'm going to go up to 62. Like so, and then I'm going to edit this profile here. So that's currently set at 60 degrees. I want to get rid of that. Now this is a guide, so this is going to fit on the back side of our V-belt, sorry. So our V-belt on one side will be this V shape, and the other side will be flat. So I'm going to make this a straight line, or a vertical line straight down. I'm going to change that from 6 to 2. So it's just got enough there to hold onto the belt so it doesn't slide off. And there we go, we've got that shape in place now. So I'm going to come out of there, and you'll now see how I've got the guide pulley. Now I'm not changed the size of it. You could change this so that it's a lot smaller pulley if you wanted to, remodel it for a smaller pulley. Just for the sake of this tutorial, I've just changed the profile on the end there really, so that it guides the belt around. Okay, so now we've got them in place, I'm going to go over to the assembly and have a look at how we assemble this together. Okay, so now we're in our assembly. You'll see how the pulley option has come up here. So we're going to import our first pulley. So I'm just going to click on that there, and I'm going to go to the tick icon at the top and drop that in. What that will do is connect the origin, which is in the center of here, to the origin on our page. So now we've got that in place, I'm going to create a profile for where I want the rest of my pulleys to connect to. So what that means is I'm going to create a sketch. So on the front plane, I'm going to sketch, and I'm going to use a center line here, and I am going to drop some directions in, or some lines to follow for my mates for later on. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm just going to rough this out to start off with, and I'm going to create something that looks a bit like that. Okay, so I'm going to have a pulley on each of these points, and this will create the shape that I am after. So let's start off with from here to here, the angle there being 45 degrees, which it is. I then want the set distance there, which I want to be, just make that 200. I want this vertical height here to also be 200. I'm going to make my offset distance going across the top 250. And then I want this distance coming down here to also be 200. But I'm going to create an angle there of 50. Let's get rid of that relationship there before I can do that. So we've got our relationship there, which is making that perpendicular to that line, so I'm just getting rid of that. And then I can put in my angle there of 50, like so. So I've got that profile for where I want to drop each of my pulleys. So let's put some more in. So I'm going to go to Assembly, Insert, Pulley, and I'm just going to drop one by each one for now. Insert the pulley, insert another pulley there. Okay, so I've got them 4 pulleys in place. I do also want to insert pulley 2, which is going to be my guide pulley, and you'll see that in a moment. So if I just drop that down there, like so, and I've got my guide pulley and my 4 belt pulleys that will guide my V-belt there. So how am I going to make these? So it's really simple. I've got pulley 1 there, which is fixed, so I'm going to go to pulley 2. I'm going to drop down that, and I'm going to find the origin. So I'm going to drop down pulley 2, find the origin, and I'm going to hold control, and I'm going to click this point here at the end of my construction line. Come out of my sketch first will help. So we come out of our sketch, find the origin, find the point there, and hit mate. And that'll pull that into place on that center position. Tick. Exit that. Drop that back together. So that was pulley 2. So let's go to pulley 3 now. Find the origin, the edge, and mate there. And that will pull that into place. So we've got these in fixed positions, so we know exactly where they are. And just repeat this through all 4. So I've got my origin, the end point of the line, and again make that there. Tick. And the last one is going to be my guide one. So I'm going to, again, find my origin, find my endpoint in my line, and make them together again, and they will move into position like so. So we've got them all in place now, and I can exit that. So what I'm going to do, so this construction sketch in the center doesn't get in the way, I'm just going to go to sketch 1 at the bottom here, and I'm just going to hide that. Okay, so we've got them pulleys separated out into the positions where we want them to be. We just need to now actually create how we're going to do the belt. So to create the belt, what we're going to do is we're going to create a sketch. Now I'm going to, again, on my front plane, create a sketch, and I'm going to use the line tool to do this. But first of all, I'm going to go to each of the pulleys, and I'm going to get the outside edge of these 4, which I want the V-belt on, and on this one I'm going to get the inside edge there, like so. And I'm going to convert entities on them. That will turn them into sketches. So if I move straight on, or normal to the front face of all of them, you'll see there is now a sketched line on the outside of each of them. There's one on the inside there. So I'm going to create a loop around them. So get a line. I'm going to come to this one, put a line on there, and I'm going to make it so it's tangential. So all I've done there is click on the circular line and drag it away. And then I'm going to move over to the next one up here until I find the tangential point, which is there. Okay, and then I'm going to follow this around, so that one's going to come straight up using the end point of the circle, or the edge, or the coincident point, and follow across again to the top there, like so. So I've got this line started to come around the outside. And then I'm going to find the tangential point on here, so drag out, we've got that again, and match it up to the one on that inside edge there. As you can see, it's matched up there. And then I'm just going to finish off by creating a tangential point from this one down to our bottom pulley that we have there. And we've got that loop. So we've got this loop around. We've got the inside edges of these circles, so I'm going to get rid of the parts we don't need. Just that, there, and there, leaving me with a completed sketch, a loop around that outside. So if I tick that and leave that sketch there, and you'll see we've got that loop in place. So I'm going to take that loop, and we can do this really easy. I'm going to click on the sketch here, and I'm going to Control and copy on the keyboard. So Control C, and then I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to open up a new part. Now on that new part, I'm going to go to one of my planes. Should we go? Let's go. Doesn't matter which one. If I go to the front plane, like so, and then I'm going to go Control and V. So I've not done a sketch. I've just clicked on the front plane. Control and V to paste, and it will copy in the sketch onto that plane. So if I go to my front plane now, I've got that sketch onto my front plane in a part. So from here, I can model my belt. So on the right plane, I'm going to sketch, and I'm going to create a line which goes coincident to the top point there. So I want that center point of the line, and I'm going to pierce it to that shape that we've created for our belt. Now, once I've got that in place, I'm just going to turn normal to that sketch, and then we can start creating the shape that we want. So this is going to be 19 wide at the top, and then I can sketch in my lower profile, like so, and put some sizes to this. So distance from there to there is going to be 6, and I want that angle at 60, and I want that angle and that angle to be the same. So I'm just going to make them two lines equal to each other, like so. So once I've got that in place, that gives me my belt shape. I've got my track, or my profile I'm going to follow. So I'm going to go to Features, I'm going to go to Sweep, which will sweep that profile. Let's get that again. So I'm going to sweep this profile around the track there, like so. And we've got our belt. So that's continued all the way around, and we've got our belt that we're after there. Now I'm just going to finish that off with a fillet. So I'm just going to fillet the edge, and I want that to be a 1mm fillet. Like so, just around that, the edges of them belt, just to round them off. Tick. And that will leave me just needing to apply a bit of a appearance to this. So I'm going to go for like a rubberish looking belt. So I'm going to go to Appearance, drop down for the body. And if I go to Rubber, let's go for a matte black rubber and drop that in there. Okay, so you'll see the lines in here. We can just hide them if we don't want to see them. Exit that. So we can just hide these lines if we don't want to see them on our model. Right click, hit the eye icon to hide it, and the same on the other. And now we end up with our belt. So if we save that, then we can move back into our assembly. Okay, so we're in our assembly now, and we've still got this profile on. I'm just going to hide that profile. So Sketch 2, hide that. And at this point now, I can go to my assembly, insert component, and I'm going to pull in that belt that I've saved and created. So belt, open, and we've got that belt profile there, like so. Now, at the moment, I'm going to have to move that to get it in place. So we can create a mate. So I'm going to mate the inside face there to this inside face here, like so. Now you'll see it's not in line, so we can bring that in line. So I'm going to get this angle here and make it, in fact not that one. Let's take that inside angle there and make it in line with there. That just pulls it into position. There we go. So we've now got that pulled into position. It's not fixed though at the moment because it will still move. If I show you, grab there, I can still slide it around. So let's fix this in place with another mate. So I'm going to take this bottom section here and mate it to this section here, like so. Tick, and I should now have my belt fully in position going around my V-belt system and guide pulley. So that takes you through how we can model a belt system. Hopefully that was useful for you. Have a go at that. It's an interesting model to try out. It's something that's new, something that's maybe a little bit harder to have a go at if you've not tried something like this before. If you like this content, please give us that thumbs up. And again, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. And I will see you in future videos. Bye for now.